all these celebrities from Hollywood and these liberals and Democrats who were in the race for 2 years, the last 2 years, 3 years, they all just got lost. They all just got lost. Trump is back.
But you've heard some of the
no
details.
more war in Ukraine, no more war anywhere, no more talk, big talk about Democrat tough guys.
An impeachment vote against President Biden if Republicans take over the House?
I believe there's a lot of pressure on Republicans to
have
that legislation forward and to have that vote. I think that is something that some folks are considering.
Wow.
Again,
I'm someone who wants to put forward a vote in the legislature.
Oversight's important.
That's Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina on Meet the Press just last month. Let's bring in staff writer for The Atlantic, Barton Gellman. He predicts in a new piece for the magazine, Republicans will impeach President Biden if the party retakes control of the House, and that they might not stop there. Barton, good morning. It's good to see you. So let's start first with, we can get to what the charge might be against Joe Biden
the charge
in a moment.
against Joe Biden.
But if you talk privately, some of them say it out loud publicly, but when they step off the set, most Democrats concede that the House is gone. It's just a question of the margin.
Well, I made it onto MSNBC. My name is Barton Gellman. Let's see what's going on now. I'll tell them
there are a number of them. Some of them, by the way, have already tried to introduce articles of impeachment against him.
Impeachment of Joe Biden.
Definitely will. What does that look like exactly? When do they start? And what kind of pressure will they be under from Donald Trump, who, after all, is the boss from whom they take their orders?
Well,
that's why
you think about it,
helped Trump beat Clinton.
Is sort of the mathematical.
I think Trump's already ready to retire.
If you've been led to believe
Putin
that the president is illegitimate, that he's in the White House and the Oval
He's not
Office
ready
by
to,
cheating,
but you know what? I think Hillary is.
If you're not joining a militia,
wondering what the hell is going on in the Democratic Party.
Is his removal.
The Atlantic, is that really what we want to listen to? The impeachment of Joe Biden on a liberal left-wing network?
Also,
I've had enough of this.
Yeah, the former president, for the bar for the retribution, the stakes will have been raised, which gets to the next question. On what charges would they impeach Joe Biden? What is in front of them? What do they believe they can get him on?
Well, first of all, to some extent, there are Republicans who say it doesn't even really matter, that impeachment is going to come in revenge for what was done to Trump. And Ted Cruz said whether it's justified or not, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And so the exact specifications of the charge are to be determined. But something to do with Hunter Biden is one likely possibility. They are going to try to tie the president to the misadventures of his son in Ukraine, in China, his business dealings, and so on. There has yet to be any publicly known evidence that ties the two.
Mismanagement, seriously, NBC.
There have already been impeachment
mismanagement, serious news.
The current Congress, because of
the Clinton
withdrawal from
Chelsea. Clinton.
The extension of
MSNBC. Where's Joe? Maybe
because of the use of the strategic oil reserve. Name your issue, but Republicans have not yet settled on which one is.
You're not going to let Joe Biden go?
Biden vulnerable enough, and I should mention, impeachment is not Kevin McCarthy's plan. It is the.
Impeachment is Kevin McCarthy's plan. Kevin McCarthy needs to be in
the Freedom Caucus.
Timeout. He needs to be bad.
When Donald Trump gets
Kevin McCarthy needs to be really
my prediction is that Trump will call for Biden's impeachment. It's what he does.
So, Barton, you mentioned Hunter Biden. Republicans think that even a flurry of investigations
into the
president's son may even
conspiracy
impact Joe Biden's
populaire.
Whether or not to seek re-election is the toll that will be taken on his family. But tell us a little bit more. It's going to be more than just an impeachment of Joe Biden in this scenario, right? Like they're going to go after cabinet members, Mayorkas and others. They're just going to try to snarl up the White House with as many investigations as possible. Tell us a little bit about that. But also, is there a way where Democrats could use that to their advantage, pointing to Republican overreach?
Well, exactly. That's the big political question. You put your finger on it.
Yeah, abortions. Now, MSNBC is trying to give credit to impeaching Joe Biden.
What I hear most talk about is impeachment of the Homeland Security Secretary, Alejandro Mayorkas, for losing control of the border, as Republicans see it, or as they sometimes accuse him.
Yeah, because too little women have rights over what they do with their own bodies, right?
There have already been impeachment resolutions offered in the current term, also against Anthony Blinken, against Merrick Garland, and against the Vice President, Kamala Harris. Lauren Boebert came up.
I don't know what's happening to the United States. I really don't know. Because they never admit that sometime I'm right. Trump is wrong, and Obama right. But that's something that they're going to have to live with themselves. I don't live in the United States. I'm from Canada. I don't work in the United States. I don't take money from the United States. I don't get my hair cut in the United States. I don't get impeachment in the United States. I don't watch TV in the United States. I just looking now for the fake news. The fake news, because now I know that's what it's called. It's fake news. It's not real news. You can't tell me what it is because it's a news. It comes on and it's a news, but it's not a news. Because sometimes it's watching and they're looking at the people on TV and they're acting like they happy, and they're acting like they talking about learning and doing homework and things like this for the political for the people who don't know politics. But it's a very shame. It's a very shame because Trump is in hiding. He's not even going in New York anymore, and only allowed to be in Cuba. Only allowing to be in Cuba because ISIS give him the safety of return to be living in Mar-a-Lago. And these people from New York, you don't know how crazy they can be. Lots of people visit. I have people coming from Netherlands. I have people coming from Austria visiting New York all the time. They telling me, look, I feel much safer in Oklahoma or Montana or maybe Wyoming because New York is like Texas. It's like Texas. It's like I don't know what it's like in New York. It's like California. No, it's not like it's like a Canada. It's like a Canada, but not for the Canadian people. It's like a Canadian. It's like a New York for the Msnbc, the New York social media broadcast network. Because it's really, let's be honest, they're socialists. They don't invite me on the show because I don't know why, because I'm independent. They don't invite Trump on the show because he was independent. They don't invite Hillary Clinton on the show because she's retired. Sometimes they invite, they don't invite basketball player on the show. They don't invite rapper on the show. They don't invite Alexei Navalny on the show because he in jail because he was being trying to help Ukraine, like the Obama try to help Ukraine and like a Biden help Ukraine. It's no good the way they try to help Ukraine because Ukraine is just not finished. It's just not finished. I don't know. Maybe it's something you can watch later with Larry. When Larry King was alive, he really know what is going on with Ukraine. That's why we think maybe Larry, or maybe we watch BBC now. Now we watch BBC because I think it's the only time. But now it's only Iran protest.
Now, reports are coming in that Iranian
And Vladimir
security
Putin
forces
is
have fired on
watching
protesters in the city
the
of
protest.
in
It's a
northwest
very
Iran.
big
Crowds
protest.
there have
Even
been
the
protesting
polar
over the
bears
shooting of a
in
local
the
person
climate
Wednesday
change,
night. There is no news
they are
yet of
looking
any
to see the
casualties.
protest
Sounds of
and the
gunfire can be heard
escalating
in
of
videos
violence
received by the
in
BBC's
the
Persian
country.
service. Protesters are shown gathered outside
Iranians
official
from
buildings in the city shouting down
Baluchistan,
with the
from
dictator. On
Balochistan,
Wednesday, Iranian
from
security forces fired on
Baluchistan,
protesters in several cities that were protesting the death in
Baluchiraz,
custody of
from
Mahsa.
Baluchiran.
It is 41 days since
41 days, they're all thinking, you know what, it's time for a change. It's time for a change. It's no good. We're gonna take a change. We're gonna make freedom for everybody. We're gonna make freedom for the whole world because we believe in Khamenei, and we're gonna change our mind from the protests. We're gonna say, you know what, protest. It's time for a change. No more protests. We're gonna go with Ayatollah and stay with him because the protest is like a change itself, and changing itself is like something where you're going to say bye bye Lizzie, hello Rishi, and still the other side is going to wonder when are we going to win the freedom? When are we going to win the freedom? The freedom from what I don't know what the freedom from, but we're gonna find maybe the freedom from the KFC, freedom from the news, freedom from the helicopter, freedom from the war, freedom from the fighting, freedom from the pressure from the economy. There's lots of things we're fighting for. There's lots of things we're fighting for. Even the Brazilian fighting for freedom, even the British fighting for freedom. Maybe we need Fox News. Maybe we need Fox News. Perhaps it's only the Fox News can give us. Here we go. Jon Stewart say Hunter Biden, he was nepotism, but it leading to corruption straight up. And it's time that Fox News is telling us what's going on. We have the Comedy Central, we have the Herschel Walker and Liz Cheney, but really it's the person who's laughing is today it's me. I'm laughing today because I'm looking at Fox News. I see Kamala Harris. She wants to make a speech. I see it's so funny. It's just you look at it, I think it's so funny because she's waiting for Trump. You know, she's waiting for a real man. She's waiting for a real man. The Fox News is also waiting. Fox News is also waiting for a real man, I think, because they have lots of people on the program that's women, and they have too many freedom and human rights, and they're giving human rights to women. And I don't see it. I don't see why they're giving the freedom rights to the women when the women are not speaking up for. They're not speaking up for the men, and they're not speaking up for the men. When they're not speaking up for the men, it's like they have. I don't know. America never speak up for each other. They're not brothers anymore. They're not sisters anymore. They changing channels all the time. They're changing channels all the time, like a TikTok, tick, 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 tick. No time. Instagram, tick, 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 tick. Time limit. No time. You know, it's Twitter only can say 2 things, and then you change. I don't like, but I don't like to be. I don't like to see so many Iranians changing the regime so much, because Obama and Biden and Clinton, they say, hey, Iran deal was a good deal. These people are such good people. It's okay, you know what they do. It's okay. They have They have the human rights for they have human rights. Iran has the human rights. It has the foundation of human rights for women, freedoms for women, human rights for everybody, and toys for toddlers, and these kind of things. I have many friends that go there and they get toys for their kids, and then they go back home after they get the toys for the kids, and everybody happy. But so it's time we change the regime from watching news all the time to maybe praying to Allah all the time and believing Islam is the right way. Islam is the only way. It's the religion of peace. I mean, everybody knows now it's the religion of peace. I think Donald Trump is agreeing with me. It's a religion of peace. Hunter Biden agreeing with me. It's a religion of peace. Everybody, even Fox News, is agreeing. It's a religion of peace. It's not the religion. But the only person who think maybe it's not the religion of peace is I cannot say his name because he's very famous and he's very rich. And he wants to make change from Islam, and he wants to make it because being Islam make him unhappy, and he's so rich. I don't like to talk about him because then he can spend money to try and bully me more, and he can spend money to try and outshine me more, and then he can spend more money trying to make me seem like I don't believe in human rights, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that. There's a lot of crazy things going on. I think Trump is also one of these people that they don't believe in human rights anymore. But he's good. He's smart. We're going to put him as a president and see if Joe Biden can beat him, or see. I don't know. Everybody is just. Let's see what they say.
I want to bring in New York Post columnist, Fox News contributor Miranda Devine. You wrote a book about this laptop. Miranda,
isn't she divine?
I just want to summarize here more than 200 pages of bank records related to Hunter Biden, his uncle James, and maybe more. Pretty involved. What does it suggest, Miranda?
Good morning, Bill. Well, I think we see here that Senators Chuck Grassley and Ron Johnson are really the unsung heroes of this investigation into the Hunter Biden laptop and the influence peddling of Joe Biden's family during his vice presidency. They were obstructed by the FBI back in the middle of 2020 when they were running this investigation, and also obviously by their Democratic.
It's so hard to decide what news to take because so many of the news, they do things to me. They do some things to me differently, and it's like which one I can trust, which one I can believe in, which one I can spend the time with the news. And I think that if I have all my news in front of me, maybe it's better if I take all the news and I say, okay, this news is good, and I say that news is good, but I say this news is also good. So it's like Jill Biden can be like sitting and working and be like a classroom with the news. Maybe Jill Biden's job should be actually not to be with the kids, but to be the president of the news organization, so she can stop them from lying, or maybe bringing them together, or maybe I don't know, maybe Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton. America need a woman to be a supervisor. I think like a supervisor, bring the women in the news, and then the men stay. But the men say, 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 but the men say.